In 1920, villagers near a small Indian town swore they saw ghosts moving through the jungle at night, not floating spirits. Something with a human shape and the eyes of an animal. Terrified, they begged a local missionary named Joseph Singh to come drive the spirits away. Singh built a hunting platform in a tree and waited. What emerged from the den wasn't a ghost, it was a wolf, and two small children running on all fours beside her. Singh named the older girl Kamala. The younger one, barely a toddler, he named Amala. He took them back to his orphanage and began writing everything down. According to his diary, the girls moved only on their hands and knees, their spines curved from years of crawling. He wrote that their eyes glowed pale blue in the dark, exactly like a wolf's. He claimed they refused cooked food, tearing raw meat instead, and howled at night when the other wolves called back. The story reached newspapers around the world within a year. Scientists, doctors, and reporters all wanted to see the wolf children for themselves. Amala died less than a year after being found. Kamala lived 9 more years, but never fully became what people expected. She learned to stand upright. She learned a handful of words. But she never stopped preferring the dark, and she never stopped moving on all fours when no one was watching. For decades, this was one of the most famous scientific case studies in the world. Psychologists cited it. Child development textbooks referenced it. It seemed to answer an impossible question. What happens to a human raised entirely outside of human contact? But here's the part almost nobody expected. Decades later, a French researcher named Serge Aroles decided to actually verify Singh's original diary. What he found didn't match the story at all. Singh's diary wasn't written in 1920, when the girls were supposedly found. It was written years later, after both girls had already died. There were no independent witnesses to the wolf den. No other missionary, doctor, or villager ever confirmed seeing the girls actually living with wolves. A doctor who actually examined Kamala noted something Singh's diary conveniently left out. The girl showed signs of a real, documented neurological condition, one that causes exactly the symptoms Singh described as wolf-like. Today, researchers believe Kamala likely had Rett syndrome, a disorder that causes repetitive hand movements, loss of speech, and unusual gait. Not a wolf child. A sick child in an orphanage misread through the lens of a story someone desperately wanted to be true. So why did Singh do it? His orphanage was desperately poor. A miracle story about wolf-raised children brought donations, visitors, and global attention that ordinary charity work never could. The wolf den photograph he showed the world was staged after the fact. The girls posed sleeping beside animals that were not actually theirs. For nearly a century, textbooks repeated a story that was never independently verified even once. And here's what should genuinely unsettle you. Nobody who repeated this story was lying. Scientists, teachers, journalists, they were simply trusting a story that felt too perfect to question. A single unverified diary from one man with one clear financial motive shaped how the entire world understood human development for generations. Not because the evidence was strong, because the story was irresistible. Kamala herself never got to correct the record. She died in 1929, still labeled by a name she never chose for herself. A girl with a real, treatable condition became a myth instead of a patient. The wolves were never the danger in this story. The real danger was how easily a good story can replace a real diagnosis, and how long it can take anyone to ask for proof.